Hey again YouTube, it's Randy with LRS Precision. I know everyone's been seeing all kinds of videos about the new Generation 5 Glocks. I have had a chance to shoot one and to handle one. I do not have one here with me for a video, but I kind of wanted to talk about the Generation 5 and the Generation 4 Glocks and whether or not I think they are worth getting. So, the reason I don't have one is I didn't think it was worth spending the money to buy a Generation 5 Glock because I already have a Generation 4 Glock 19, I've got a Generation 4 Glock 32, and then I've got a Generation 3 Glock 23. But if I didn't have either of my Generation 4 Glocks, I would definitely go ahead and pick up a Generation 5 Glock 19. The biggest things they have changed on them is on the Generation 4 Glock, you've got the squared off front, just like every other generation of Glock. You can actually compare it to the Generation 3, they look basically the same. The Generation 5, they kind of beveled this out to where it looks like the Glock 26s. The other thing that they did was they flared the magwell on the Glock Generation 5, unlike on this. But what the other thing they did was they cut a U-shape out here and extended this a little bit. The reason for that is so you can reach up and grab a magazine if it gets stuck. However, it's kind of got sharp edges on it, so when I was holding it, my pinky would actually get stuck in that on the Glock 19 Generation 5. I wasn't a really big fan of it. It does retain the same magazine release that the Generation 4 has, and you can reverse it for left-handed shooting. The Generation 5 also added the slide, from having just a slide stop here like all the previous generation Glocks, they actually made an ambidextrous one so you can use it left or right-handed. It does still retain the multiple back straps just like the Generation 4. Sights are very similar on the Generation 5. They did actually enlarge the sight in the rear of it, and the shape's a little bit different, but you've still got this basic Glock U on the back with the same white dot in the front for their sights. There are some internal differences. Since I don't have one, I can't really go into very much of it. They did switch from a 3-pin design like the Generation 3 and Generation 4 have to a 2-pin design similar to a Glock 43. Shooting it was about the same. They did remove the finger grooves on the Generation 5. It's got the same texture as the Generation 4. From what I could tell, there really was no difference on texturing. But with the finger grips removed, I didn't really notice that much of a difference. Like, it felt about the same holding it. The finger grooves don't bother me. Some people do get them taken off when they customize them. To me, it's always been, okay, they're there. I don't really feel them. They kind of fit where my fingers would go anyway. But if your hands don't fit the finger grooves well on the Generation 3 or 4, then that might be a plus for you. If I was going to buy a brand new Glock and I didn't have one, I would definitely get the Generation 5. But, like I said earlier, I don't really think it's worth upgrading if you have a Generation 4. And especially since I have a Generation 4 Glock 19, I really wouldn't be getting that much of a difference. The magazines are interchangeable, just like they are with all the previous generations and models, so if you've got Glocks already and you want to upgrade, you can still use all your magazines with them. Thanks for watching our video. I hope this gave you some information if you were trying to find out whether or not you wanted to buy the new Generation 5 Glock. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel down below. We are still going to be doing our giveaway when we hit 150 subscribers, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that.